It began in a place meant to save souls, not condemn them. Welcome to the Wadi Files. If you're into true crime cases, make sure to like, subscribe, and explore the channel for more. Now, let's get into the case. North Point Baptist Church, outside Oklahoma City. Families praying, children singing, Bibles opening, like routine. No one knew that inside those walls, 2 Sunday school teachers were writing a story that would end in blood. This is where faith bent into desire, where a husband sensed death at his door, and where a woman, who once buttoned every shirt to her throat, would become the only female on death row in Oklahoma. Brenda Andrew was born in 1963, raised strict, raised spotless Lutheran through and through. Camp counselor, evangelism volunteer, good grades, straight spine, no rebellion. People believed she'd never break a rule, let alone break a man. As a teenager, she met Rob Andrew polite, religious, stable. They matched like 2 pages from the same hymnal. He studied advertising. She followed him to college. They married in 1984, then built the life people envy. A large Oklahoma home, career success, 2 children, Tricity and Parker. From the outside, it looked like God had handed her everything. But inside Brenda, something restless was waking. She loved her children, but hated losing her independence. She missed her banking job, missed feeling desired. While other suburban mothers blended into the background, Brenda walked into church wearing clothes that silenced entire pews. Rob was devoted, but Brenda was drifting. Then came James Pavatt, insurance salesman, recently divorced, a church friend, a hunting buddy to Rob, a man who knew firearms, an ex-army sniper, a man who, importantly, sold Rob a life insurance policy worth $800,000. No one knew it yet, but that number would become the heartbeat of a murder. The affair started quietly, looks shared during scripture study, hands touching too long, laughter meant for someone else's spouse. Church members noticed. Whispers spread through the Bible Belt like wildfire. Brenda dresses too much like temptation. She and James stand too close. That isn't Sunday fellowship, that's lust. Soon, Brenda filed for separation. Rob was stunned suddenly. The man who loved her was losing everything, but separation was only step 1. Because Brenda did not want freedom. She wanted insurance. October 2001. A phone call came late at night. Brenda was supposedly in the hospital. Rob threw on clothes and sped across town, heart pounding with fear. Halfway there, his car failed violently. A mechanic later showed him the truth. His brake lines were cut clean through. Rob whispered something chilling. "Someone is trying to take my life." He suspected one person, Brenda, but suspicion is not proof. Then came her next request. She asked him to visit her home to fix a furnace pilot light. Rob agreed, maybe out of hope, maybe out of habit. He wanted to believe she was still the woman he married. He walked into the garage, unaware he was stepping into a trap. 2 days before Thanksgiving. Brenda claimed it happened fast. 2 masked men, shouting, "Chows." Rob was shot once. Then again. He fell onto the cold concrete of the garage floor and never rose again. Brenda was shot too in the arm, just enough to sell the story. But investigators recognized something off from the start. Her wound was shallow, oddly placed, suspiciously survivable. This was not a robbery. This was staging. And the more investigators looked, the more the tale cracked open. Detectives discovered Rob had gone to his insurance company 2 weeks before he died. He sat across from employees, calm but shaking inside, and said, "My wife and my insurance agent are plotting to kill me." He named them both Brenda Andrew and James Pavatt. Rob Andrew saw his death coming. He just could not outrun it. When police searched for his wife, they found something even more disturbing. Brenda never appeared at Rob's funeral. While mourners sat waiting, a minister announced the family was missing. The sanctuary that once held wedding vows now held suspicion. Detectives knew she was running. Police searched across states, across borders. Brenda, Pavatt, and her children disappeared into Mexico. 3 months later, they attempted to re-enter the United States. That moment ended the chase. They were arrested, extradited, and charged with first-degree murder. Brenda's children were placed with grandparents, safe at last. But what came next was bigger than the manhunt. It was the unraveling of Brenda Andrew. James Pavatt was tried first. Evidence stacked like bricks. His marksmanship, his affair, the insurance motive, the brake lines, the staged attack. After steady testimony, the jury sentenced him to death. Then came Brenda, and her trial was chaos. Lovers testified not one, not two, but several. Men described motel keys handed out like pamphlets, not the behavior of the woman who taught scriptures to children. Her defense insisted she was a victim, that she was attacked too, that she never meant for Rob to die. But forensic experts claimed her injury was self-inflicted. Gunshot residue patterns pointed at her as the shooter of the second fatal blast. Then the twist. Brenda had taken out a life insurance policy on Pavatt as well. If Pavatt was executed for killing Rob, she would collect again. She planned a future funded entirely by death. She did not need lovers. She needed assets. The jury deliberated for 6 hours, then returned. Guilty. Death. Brenda reportedly smiled, unfazed, unbowed, almost pleased. She claimed innocence, called it injustice, and waited for appeals. But appeals failed. Her sentence still stands. Today, she remains the only woman on Oklahoma's death row. Pavatt continues to fight his fate, a legal battle still not closed. But Rob Andrew, the man who once held a family together, is silent forever. They taught scripture, led prayers, and preached fidelity. But in the shadows of that church, lust cut deeper than devotion. A marriage became a target. A husband became an obstacle, and salvation became the mask that murder hid behind. Because in the Bible, built even under crosses and hymns, the devil can speak softly, smile sweetly, and sit beside you every Sunday. Thank you for watching. If this case kept you interested, make sure to subscribe and check out the other cases on the channel. There are more stories waiting.